Arnold Schwarzenegger once said, "The worst thing you can ever be is a well-adjusted person to a mediocre life." What if I told you that the man who conquered bodybuilding, Hollywood, and politics has a blueprint that can transform your life starting today? The same mindset that built a 7-time Mr. Olympia, a billion-dollar movie star, and the governor of California can be yours in the next 10 minutes. Hey everyone, welcome back to the 12 Ways channel. Today we're learning something that genuinely changed my perspective on success and fulfillment. Arnold Schwarzenegger's book, Be Useful, isn't just another celebrity memoir, it's a practical guide to building an extraordinary life. When I first picked up this book, I was skeptical. Does the world really need another success manual from someone who's already made it? But what struck me was how actionable and honest Arnold's advice truly is. He doesn't sugarcoat the work involved, but he does provide a clear roadmap anyone can follow. By the end of this video, you'll have 12 actionable principles from the Terminator himself that you can immediately apply to break through your limitations and start creating real impact. Here's what we'll cover today. First, we'll explore Arnold's core philosophy of being useful and how it can revolutionize your mindset. Then, we'll break down his specific strategies for goal setting and developing unwavering self-discipline. Finally, I'll share how he approaches failure and resilience, which might be the most valuable lesson of all. And just to be clear, this isn't about becoming a bodybuilder or an actor unless that's your goal. This is about taking principles that work in any field and applying them to whatever matters most to you. Let's start with the foundation of Arnold's philosophy being useful. This isn't just the title of his book, it's his entire approach to life. Lesson 1. Have a clear vision. Arnold believes that having a vivid, detailed vision of your goals is non-negotiable. He didn't just want to be successful. He visualized himself winning Mr. Olympia, being a movie star, and standing behind a podium as a political leader. In the book, he describes how as a teenager in Austria, he would cut out magazine photos of American bodybuilders and paste his face over theirs. He would visualize the exact trophy, the exact feeling, even the exact words he would say in his victory speech. This isn't just positive thinking, it's about creating such a concrete image in your mind that your brain starts working toward it automatically. As Arnold puts it, if you don't have a vision of where you're going, you drift. What's your equivalent of Arnold's magazine cutouts? What images can you surround yourself with daily to reinforce your vision? Lesson 2. Develop a relentless work ethic. Here's where most people fall short. Arnold trained 5 hours daily while others did too. When filming Terminator, he'd study lines while others partied. His rule? There are 24 hours in a day. If you sleep 6, that still gives you 18 hours to become great. Arnold shares a particularly revealing story about preparing for his role in Conan the Barbarian. Beyond the physical training, he learned horseback riding, sword fighting, and even studied the movement of big cats at the zoo to develop the character's animalistic qualities. While other actors might have done the minimum, Arnold immersed himself completely. His mentality wasn't, "How little can I do to get by?" but rather, "How much can I possibly do to ensure success?" That's the gap between mediocrity and greatness. Lesson 3. Focus on what you can control. Arnold grew up in post-war Austria with limited opportunities, but instead of complaining, he focused exclusively on what he could influence. Can't change your height? Focus on muscle definition. Can't change your accent? Make it your trademark. In the book, Arnold mentions how during his early bodybuilding days, judges would often favor Americans over foreign competitors. Instead of getting bitter, he doubled down on creating such an extraordinary physique that they couldn't possibly overlook him. He used that same approach when Hollywood casting directors initially dismissed him. He has a powerful question worth borrowing. Is this within my control or outside of it? If it's outside, stop wasting energy on it. If it's within, give it everything you've got. Lesson 4. Find joy in the work. This might be surprising coming from someone known for no pain, no gain, but Arnold insists that finding genuine pleasure in the process is essential. He loved the burn in his muscles during training and the challenge of memorizing complex movie lines in English. In Be Useful, he tells a story about visiting a company where most employees seemed miserable. When he found the lone enthusiastic worker and asked what was different, the man said, "I don't just stack boxes, I'm building my ability to organize systems efficiently." He found purpose in the same task others found mundane. Arnold suggests identifying aspects of your necessary work that genuinely excite you. Can't find any? You're either in the wrong field or not looking deeply enough. You know what's funny? When Arnold first told his friends in Austria that he wanted to be a Hollywood star, they literally laughed in his face. They said, "With that accent and those muscles, impossible." Well, guess who's laughing now? Sometimes the people who doubt you the most end up buying tickets to watch your success story play out on the big screen. And speaking of that accent, can you imagine I'll be back in perfect American English? Me neither. What most people see as your biggest weakness might just become your greatest trademark if you lean into it enough. Lesson 5. Ignore the naysayers. Arnold faced relentless criticism throughout his journey. Bodybuilding experts said his calves were too small. Hollywood agents said his name was too long and his accent too thick. Political analysts said a foreign-born actor could never be governor. There's a particular story in the book where a prominent casting director told him point blank, "Not only will you not be a leading man, but your accent is so thick I can't understand half of what you're saying." Arnold's response? He walked out, worked harder on his English, and proved them wrong instead of getting discouraged. His response? The naysayers are actually giving you a gift. They're telling you that you're onto something unique. Use criticism as fuel. In fact, Arnold suggests a mind shift. When someone says that's impossible, train yourself to hear that would be impressive, then go do it. Lesson 6. Embrace your fears. This might surprise you, but Arnold admits to being afraid many times in his career. His breakthrough came when he stopped trying to eliminate fear and started using it as a compass. If something terrifies you, it's probably worth pursuing. When he was afraid of public speaking, he deliberately took acting classes and communication courses. His rule: the things that scare you most are usually the things that will grow you most. In the book, Arnold reveals that his first political speech was a disaster. He was visibly nervous and forgot his points. Instead of avoiding future speeches, he committed to giving 10 more within a month. By speech number 7, the fear was manageable. By speech 10, he actually enjoyed it. What terrifies you right now, that's probably your next growth opportunity. Lesson 7. Learn from everyone. Despite his confident persona, Arnold is remarkably humble about seeking knowledge. He studied business from moguls, acting from directors, and politics from both sides of the aisle. One fascinating detail from Be Useful is how Arnold would schedule regular lunches with people completely outside his field. A bodybuilder having lunch with ballet choreographers, an actor meeting with financial analysts, a politician learning from environmental scientists. He says, "Ego is the enemy of growth. Every person you meet knows something you don't." Arnold suggests creating a deliberate learning plan. Identify 5 people who excel at what you're trying to improve and find ways to learn from them, whether through books, videos, or direct contact. Lesson 8. Build meaningful connections. For all his self-reliance, Arnold emphasizes that no one succeeds alone. He built strategic relationships with mentors like Joe Weider in bodybuilding, and producers like James Cameron in film. In the book, Arnold shares how he approached relationships with a value-first mindset. Before asking for anything, he would find ways to be helpful to the other person. When meeting with directors, he would study their previous work extensively. When networking with politicians, he would learn their key issues. His networking rule? Don't just collect contacts. Create genuine connections by being useful to others first. Arnold suggests a simple practice. Before any important meeting, ask yourself, how can I bring value to this person? Instead of, what can I get from them? Now I want you to pause for a second and reflect. These principles aren't just for becoming the next Terminator. They apply whether you're building a business, improving your health, or strengthening relationships. What would change if you applied Arnold's level of vision clarity to your career path? What if you brought his work ethic to your side hustle? What if you adopted his approach to fear in your personal relationships? The real power comes when you stop treating these as interesting ideas and start implementing them as daily practices. As Arnold says, knowledge without action is useless. Action without knowledge is dangerous. Finally, let's explore how Arnold handles setbacks and maintains momentum. Lesson 9. Turn setbacks into comebacks. Arnold's career wasn't all victories. He's had box office bombs, political controversies, and health scares, but he has a unique approach to failure. He uses the same analytical mindset he used in bodybuilding. In Be Useful, he tells a powerful story about his heart surgery. Instead of feeling sorry for himself, He posted a social media update from the hospital bed saying, "I'm back," referencing his famous line and signaling his determined mindset. He then created a detailed recovery plan with the same precision he once used for movie preparation. When a muscle group wasn't developing, he'd isolate it and attack from different angles. He applies this same principle to life's challenges. Failure is just feedback telling you to adjust your approach. Arnold recommends a post-failure ritual. Take 24 hours to feel the disappointment, then write out 3 specific lessons and create an adjusted plan based on those lessons. This transforms failures from endpoints into stepping stones. Lesson 10. Maintain discipline through habits. Arnold's secret weapon isn't motivation, it's discipline through consistent habits. He still follows routines he developed decades ago, from his morning workout to reading time. The book details how Arnold wakes up at 5 a.m. daily, not because he particularly enjoys early mornings, but because he's built a routine that's now second nature. He doesn't debate whether to exercise, it's simply what happens at that time every day. His rule? Build rituals so strong that they're harder to break than to maintain. Arnold advises identifying your 3 most important daily activities and building unmovable blocks of time for them. For him, it's physical training, learning something new and connecting with people. What are yours? Lesson 11. Give back meaningfully. Throughout his later career, Arnold has shifted focus to philanthropy and public service. This isn't just charity, it's central to his philosophy of being useful. In the book, Arnold explains how his After School All-Stars program, which provides comprehensive after-school programs for children in need, gives him more satisfaction than any movie success. He describes visiting schools and seeing firsthand how these programs changed lives. He says success without service is empty. The most fulfilling achievements are those that improve others' lives. Arnold suggests finding causes aligned with your skills and passions, rather than just writing checks. Are you a marketing expert? Help nonprofits with their messaging, a teacher, mentor underprivileged students? The goal is meaningful impact, not just checking a box. Lesson 12. Redefine success constantly. Perhaps most importantly, Arnold refuses to rest on past achievements. After conquering bodybuilding, he aimed for Hollywood. After Hollywood, politics. After politics, environmental activism. In Be Useful, Arnold shares how after achieving his bodybuilding goals, he felt a temporary emptiness until he set new challenges. He realized that humans are goal-seeking creatures who need new mountains to climb. His final rule? Never be satisfied. The moment you think you've made it is the moment you begin to fall. Arnold recommends a practice of success cycling. Before fully completing one major goal, already begin defining the next one. This creates continuous momentum rather than achievement followed by aimlessness. Let's quickly recap these 12 principles from Arnold's Be Useful philosophy. 1. Have a clear, detailed vision. Visualize success with specificity. 2. Develop a relentless work ethic. Maximize those 24 hours. 3. Focus only on what you can control. Ignore everything else. 4. Find genuine joy in the work. Love the process, not just the outcome. 5. Ignore the naysayers. Use criticism as fuel. 6. Embrace your fears as growth opportunities. Follow what scares you. 7. Learn from everyone you meet. Seek knowledge across disciplines. 8. Build meaningful connections. Lead with value. 9. Turn setbacks into comebacks. Analyze failure objectively. 10. Maintain discipline through habits. Create unbreakable routines. 11. Give back meaningfully. Find fulfillment in service. 12. Redefine success continuously. Always set new mountains to climb. These aren't just Arnold's rules. They're principles that have created extraordinary results across cultures, industries, and eras. If you found value in these insights, hit that like button right now. It helps more people discover these principles. And here's my question. Which of these 12 principles resonated most with you, and which one will you implement this week? Let me know in the comments below. I read and respond to comments personally, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on Arnold's philosophy. If you've read Be Useful, share your favorite insights I might have missed. Don't forget to subscribe for more content that helps you build a life of impact and fulfillment. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. I release new videos every day with practical strategies from world-class performers.